And we have breaking news coming for you on top of Gravitas. The UK's Home Office has ordered the extradition of fugitive Indian businessman Vijay Mallya. The Home Office has confirmed to Wion that Mallya now has 2 weeks to challenge this extradition. And our London Bureau Chief Mandy Clark has been following this case from the word go. She's joining us live from London. Mandy, what updates do we have?
What we do know now is that Vijay Mallya has around 2 weeks, 14 days to appeal. Is very likely he will do, almost definitely. This isn't really a surprise that the Home Secretary has approved it. It was very much expected. There was the Indian side gave a very strong case, and the judge put it to the Home Secretary to approve. So that isn't a surprise. We do expect Mallya to appeal. The bigger surprise would be now if Mallya decides to accept the extradition decision and head home. So we'll have to see whether or not he does appeal. Then it's to the appeals court. Now we can expect a much quicker trial if that happens. And if it still isn't the result that Mallya wants, then it's the Supreme Court, and then it could go all the way to the European Court of Justice.
So when you say a quicker trial, time is of essence, Mandy. I'm sure you appreciate the fact that this is election season in India, and getting Vijay Mallya back at this point will be very, very significant, good optics and more for the ruling dispensation here. So when we say that things are proceeding faster than expected, and this is an advantage for the government and the prosecution here in New Delhi, how quickly can we see things turning around?
It's difficult to know how quickly. An appeals court decision tends to happen quicker, but it's the judiciary, and it's slow with a lot of cases. So the original court case itself took over a year to reach a decision, but we can expect much less. So within 2 to 3 months after that date is set, we can expect a decision on that, and the Supreme Court will be even less time. And if they decide to go to the European Courts of Justice, now that option might be off the table. If Britain has Brexited, they might not be under the European Court of Justice judiciary, so it might just go to the Supreme Court. So there is a lot still up in the air, of course, with the legal system here in Britain. But you could expect it in a few months rather than a year for a decision to be made.
Extradition of people like Vijay Mallya is politically very, very sensitive in India. And as we track this case and we speak to people from all sides, the criticism that has come for successive Indian governments is the fact that they do not follow up the case with as much passion, that they drag their feet. But this government, some would say, has shown a lot of drive in this regard, and they've really pushed this. Do you believe that this has moved faster? And how significant is the fact that the Home Office in Britain at this time, when the government itself is dealing with, has a lot on its plate, has gone ahead with this decision? Do you think that there is some political, some back channel talk happening as well?
Certainly there was a lot of expectation on Britain to make a quick decision. That might be the case. But certainly what the judge said is that every time she had a question from the Indian side, they were very quick to give a reply. And so I think where you're seeing greater kind of follow through is really through the judiciary. When the judge asked for extra files, they got it. When they wanted a film of the jail conditions, they got it right away. And so it was very easy for the judge to make a decision in India's favor because they were working hand in glove really with the judiciary. And perhaps that hasn't been the case in the past. But certainly we do know India had made representations to Britain, making it clear how important this case was to them. So the Home Secretary would have known that there would be an expectation for him to make a decision fairly quickly.
Final question, Mandy. You've been tracking this case. You've been speaking to legal experts. How do the odds stack against Vijay Mallya in this case?
Well, it's always dangerous to go in the world of speculation, but many of the legal minds do believe that he will ultimately be sent back, that this is just a slow process, whether he goes to an appeal. They don't see his case strong enough to warrant that he stays in the UK. So in many ways, it's just delaying the inevitable. When I spoke to a lot of legal experts, of course, you're never too sure what a judge will decide. But I think the overall view is there is a case to be heard in India and that he needs to go back to face it.
Mandy Clark, thanks very much. As always, very balanced assessment of things. Vijay Mallya's extradition request cleared by the UK Home Office, but he can still appeal. Things moving faster than expected, and this is going to make good headlines for the government in New Delhi.